What if all of Earth's oxygen vanished for 60 seconds? This is the question I asked myself. I think my brain isn't exactly braining about the logistics of holding my breath. Wait, there's no air to hold in the first place. Let's be clear about what we're doing here. We're not just removing the oxygen from the air you breathe, we're removing all oxygen from the atmosphere, the oceans, and even the crust of the Earth itself. Oxygen makes up 21% of our atmosphere, 46% of Earth's crust, and about 65% of your body. So when it disappears, we're not just suffocating, we're unraveling. And it all happens in the time it takes to microwave a burrito. The clock starts now. At T-0, 1.2 quadrillion tons of atmospheric oxygen blink out of existence. The air pressure drops by 21% instantly. Your ears pop violently, like descending 2,000 meters in a second. Anyone on a plane experiences rapid decompression. Oxygen masks drop, but there's nothing to deliver. Pilots black out at the controls. Then, the sky changes. Without oxygen molecules to scatter blue light, the atmosphere turns a hazy twilight gray. The sun looks dimmer, almost ghostly, like you're viewing it through smoke. You'd notice this before you realized you couldn't breathe. But here's where it gets worse. Every internal combustion engine on Earth stops. Cars roll to a halt. Planes begin their descent. Every fire goes out. Campfires, candles, the furnace in your basement. Combustion needs oxygen. Without it, chemistry just pauses. But you won't care, because in the next 3 seconds, every living cell in your body begins tearing itself apart. No oxygen means no cellular respiration. Your mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, shut down. Your brain, which consumes 20% of your oxygen supply, has about 15 seconds of reserve before permanent damage begins. You don't just feel breathless, you feel your consciousness dimming, like someone's turning down the lights inside your skull. Meanwhile, the oceans lose 33% of their mass as dissolved oxygen vanishes. That's roughly 450 billion tons of water gone. Coastal water levels drop by several feet in seconds. The vacuum left behind causes tsunamis to roll inward, then back out in chaotic, frothing surges. Boats crash onto exposed seabeds. Whales beach themselves in confusion. And then there's the crust. Concrete is bound together by oxidized calcium. Asphalt by oxidized carbon. Without oxygen, every concrete structure on Earth, bridges, highways, dams, skyscrapers, begins to crumble into powder. The ground beneath your feet becomes dust. You're not standing anymore. You're collapsing through a disintegrating planet alongside 8 billion other people. At the 30-second mark, anyone still conscious feels their lungs screaming, their vision tunneling to a pinprick of gray light. The ozone layer, made of O3, has vanished. Unfiltered ultraviolet radiation pours through the atmosphere like a solar floodlight. Your skin starts to burn. If you're outside, you're getting a month's worth of UV exposure in seconds. At 45 seconds, the few people still awake watch as hydrogen and nitrogen in the air begin bonding with trace elements, desperate to form something stable. Small pockets of combustion spark. The atmosphere shudders, trying to chemistry itself back into balance. And then, mercifully, impossibly, at exactly 60 seconds, the oxygen returns. You gasp. The sky shifts back to blue. Engines cough, sputter, and restart. But the damage is done. Millions are unconscious, or worse. Trillions of organisms in the ocean are dead. The infrastructure of human civilization is rubble and dust. If you survived, and that's a big if, you'd wake up in a world that looked like Earth, but felt like a monument to fragility. The air would smell like ozone and panic. Hospitals would be overwhelmed. Cities would be unrecognizable. And every survivor would be left asking the same question: what just happened? People! If you ever find a button labeled "Remove Oxygen for 60 seconds, don't try it. Instead, tap the subscribe button below for more weird things to happen.